Hi, I'm Veronica, and today I want to talk about one topic, and that's happiness. This is something where everybody is speaking about. Everyone wants to be loved and wants to be happy in their lives. But the really sad part is that nobody really teaches you of how to be happy in life. School is all about how you function in our society. Nobody is really giving you instructions of how to be happy. All over, if you look at what's happening in our lives, is everybody tells us what we must do and how we have to function to be successful. But then they have their own definition about success. You are not even being taught to create your own theory about what success means for you. And the same about happiness. Somebody says, oh, you have to play soccer because everyone plays soccer, so that will make you happy. And happiness is something where we need to learn a lot about ourselves and get to know ourselves first. Because our whole life, we are always being told how to fit into all these rules in this world and how to fit into society, but they don't teach you how you can get to know yourself. Along the way, over the whole year, we deny so many needs we have for ourselves. It's like your parents told you that you have to do this kind of sport. Maybe you couldn't even really make a decision. Maybe your parents even had a completely different idea of who you're supposed to become. I mean, just telling a story about my life. When I was 21, when I was 21, I left Germany and I started traveling by myself completely. For my parents, I was just a young girl still. And I just had my backpack, I had 7 kilograms with me, and that's all I had. And I had started traveling by myself. Everyone else was telling me about how I'm wasting my life. They didn't understand why I'm going traveling. They didn't support me to give me money, so I worked on my own. I was self-employed by being 18. I really worked for my success. I really took everything. I didn't listen to other people because everyone was just telling me what I can't do. When I was 18, I remember I read a couple things on the internet. I had all the information of how to set up my own business, but not about a real business, but actually how to be self-employed so I can take on contracts. So I was 18 years old, I was in school. So I came to school and I told my girlfriends, hey, I'm going to be self-employed because my whole life since I was like 12, I was dreaming about being self-employed and I want to have my own company one day. And I just set up a company. And they looked at me and they were just like laughing at me. They were saying, oh, you can't do that. You're a student. You're still in school. You're a grade 12 or 13, I don't know where I was at that moment. And it was like, you can't do this. And I felt really bad because I was standing there and I didn't understand what's happening. I was like, why was I yesterday at the government, whatever office there, and I signed up for my tax number. And then I'm standing in school and I'm telling my friends and they're laughing at me and saying like, oh, you're just like a liar or you're like a dreamer. It's not possible. You cannot do that. And I was confused. And I was standing there. I was like, they tell me I can't do this, but I just did yesterday. Why are these people here in front of me? And there was like 4 of them sitting in front of me. And I'm like, why are they sitting there? And they're telling me I can't do this, but I just did. And that was exactly what was always happening. So I finished off my first degree. I'm not like a dropout or whatever. So I finished off my first degree in university. And I started traveling and people were telling me exactly the same thing. It was like, you can't do it. You don't have money or like you don't work. It's like, how do you want to just go to Asia right now with a backpack, barely anything with you and you want to start traveling? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to do that. That's it. So I learned very, very early, but especially this one event where I already did something and people told me I can't do this. And this is what I realized of how all the society is putting us into boxes. And they're like, this is safe, you have to stay there. And we have done it before. So many generations of us have survived if you follow the steps and you stay in this box. But this is usually where you maybe don't even find your happiness. If there is like a box which really makes you happy, this is great. You know, it's like, this is the perfect thing. But learn to think bigger. Learn to think for yourself. This is where happiness, where they don't teach us this whole little strategy, the little techniques, how you actually start listening to yourself, where you start to move on, where you think, yes, I know, like for example, my mom, my grandpa, all the people in my town where I live, my whole neighborhood, my friends, they love to have like a 9-to-5 job. They love to stay at home. They love to stay in a familiar area, and they actually feel unhappy when they are in new situations. But it's like, for example, for me, I love that. I was this really curious young person. I love to go to new people. And I was just like, there was a group of people, of super successful people, and I would go there and it's like, hey guys, I'm Veronica. I love what you are doing. Can you please tell me more of how you did that? Where other people are very shy and they was like, you can't go and talk to them. You can't. But there's like one thing of a lot of people who are walking out there. They're very lonely as well. And they love to be talked to. And they love to talk about their success, especially in front of people who love to hear it and don't judge them. This is what we have a lot, where we stay in the comfort zone because we've been judged. So I want to go back to this whole topic about happiness is not being told, because they only teach us what they think is safe. I mean, look back. All the generations before, they had really tough times. There've been war going on. And as well, like, depends on which country you're living. Of course, there are moments or there's things happening which are very, very scary. And everyone is just trying to protect ourselves. But listen to yourself. Is this protective area and this a way of living which really fulfills you, makes you happy? Or maybe you are like a bird and you just want to spread your wings and you want to start flying, and you realize you're just wrong here. You want to move on. You want to do something else. You realize that you're limiting yourselves because your heart is not there. You want to move on. You want to go further. If you feel this way, then you're limiting yourself. Then you don't live up to all your potential. And there's ways. Like what has been happening to me, because people never stopped, never. I have worked as an artist. This is why I started being self-employed. I love being on stage and loved performing. I was a fire dancer and I was a dancer. So I loved doing that. But the most people, when they have to speak on stage in front of people, they rather jump out of an airplane without a parachute instead of standing there. And this is why they would limiting me, because they are so terrified of this moment of standing in front of people where they say, Veronica, you can't do this. This is scary. You might die. Well, they don't say that, of course. But this is what they just imagine, what they feel. They think like, no, you can't do this. But it's their limitations they are pushing onto you. And when we're young and we are looking up to these people, we might believe them. And we start being scared and we're just like, yeah, maybe I won't do this. And this is something where I am here. This is why the whole Feel Good Now Academy came into life. Because I want as many people as possible to know how to feel good now at any time of their lives. To stop limiting themselves, to of course know and consider what can happen, but actually move on, listen to your heart and live the passion, live your full potential, because you are the only person who knows what makes you happy. And I remember when I was on stage, that really made me happy. And I really, really loved that. So, but the most people were just telling me that I can't do this. If I would have never done that, I know that I would have been really unhappy. And I remember, like, I didn't understand why people were doing that. I was still quite young and I was looking for like bits and pieces and where do people find happiness? I have done the whole research about 2 topics in my life, and there was love and happiness. 2 topics where people would tell you a lot of things they don't even know about. They just tell you something they think it's right. And there's the 2 topics I did like over 12 years of research because I think it's so important. I didn't understand that. And what I have realized, every one of all the different institutions out there, they all give you just a little puzzle piece. One person gives you these, and this one is specialized in these. And then there is a therapy technique that gives you only one piece. But there's nothing that actually gives you a whole bunch of information where you can create a blueprint for yourself and you can start being fully yourself and stop limiting yourself. And this is where I love to talk about happiness, where I love to talk about everything that will make you happy, and as well not putting rules onto this. You will never hear me say, this is the right way for everyone to be happy. You have to do this, this, this. Because this is not true. Because the one person who loves to live in the countryside and just stay at home, for you it probably won't be the right way to travel around the world and not having a home base, because you love doing that. So there's every other person. Some people love to live in a city. That really fulfills them. They love that. And other people are getting anxiety in a city. But they're being stuck there because they're being taught you have all the success. So for you, maybe it would be a right decision to search where is your happiness place. So if you want to talk more about what is actually the right thing for you, you can as well apply to a free session where I will talk through a little strategy for yourself, where you can get to know yourself better, where you can get to know what is the right thing for you to do, and we talk that through. It's all for free. You can sign up. Just look, there's somewhere a button around this video or a link. Just go on that one. Keep smiling. Your Veronica.